Wizard, we have something really interesting to cover today. So I'm looking at the PancakeSwap prediction. This has been something I've been meaning to get to for some time. And if you went back to the start of this video, probably you would have seen a payout here of like 40x. And I haven't traded this market yet, so let me just be upfront straight away. I've not traded this market yet. This is something I'm looking into, and in fact, I spoke with the Wizard this morning. By the way, thanks for great conversation and feedback on this. But the long story short is, I think there's definitely alpha to be gained here. So I'm looking here at this PancakeSwap finance prediction, and I love the vehicle, right? The vehicle is pretty straightforward. It says that, if, for example, and here I'll draw it on this piece of paper for you. If, for example, right now I have this price of BNB, right? So this line here is the price of BNB. If the price ends up higher in the next 5 minutes, I get a payout of X. And if it ends up lower in the next 5 minutes, I lose X. And that's if I went long. If I went short, I would have made money when it goes down, or I would have made money when it goes up. Hopefully you could see that. But so I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, well, what are the payouts relative to how the market behaves? And let me give you an idea here, right? So we've got this one here that's essentially live. It's actually going through now. And the price just before it was 4408.850. So here I'm going to actually open up Excel. I'm just going to bring it here onto the screen where you can see it. But let's put in some numbers, right? Let me just zoom into this a bit. I'm still not used to using Excel on a Mac, by the way. It's an absolute pain in the ass. So here we go, let's zoom in. So here we can see the last price on the closing price ended at 440.850, right? That's what it ended up as. Let's see if we can get this in here. There we go, 440.850. The current price is 440.790. All right, so I've got 440.850 versus 444.790. Oh, sorry, that's just changed. So that's back to 440.890. So if I put in 440.890, and hopefully you can see I'm taking this price here. It's now 860. The price is moving, so I better be quick. Look at the difference here, right? 0.010. So if I look at this minus this, that matches exactly. So I'm not going to keep updating this, by the way. It's just so you can see I take the last close price, it's moved up by 0.1, and it's now currently at this price, right? So you can see that here. Now it's calculating. It's calculating what? It's calculating who the winners were based on who staked that it would be up rather than down, and it's paying out to those people. And so now we're now on this one. Oh, in fact, it apparently, actually ended down. So we went from 440.850 to, let's just put it in 440.790, and I'll bring that back over here, and you can see, right, it went from there to there, and now it ended there. So that round is finished. We're now on to the next round, and it's saying, okay, who's going to win? Like, you can't trade this now. It's in, right? It's in play. You have to have placed your trades beforehand. Now, something like this can be enormously addictive, and I am totally against binary options in the traditional sense. I've mentioned this before. Basically, the math says you're guaranteed to lose all your money, and if you think you're not, you're mistaken. That's exactly how they are built, and the maths doesn't lie. That's what I love about math. It doesn't lie. Now, this is different for me because the payout in traditional binary options is garbage, but the payout here seems to be completely out of whack. So for example, I can now stake and get 2.34. In other words, I can get above a 1-to-1 payout, right? I can get 134% return if it ends up 5 minutes after this one ends. So this one here, I'm staking for the next round here. Very, very interesting, because you would have noticed from the start of this video, actually, if you went back after watching this video, right? If you went back to the beginning and replayed the video, which is great because that's good apparently for the YouTube algorithm. So let's have some fun with that. But if you did that, you would see that the payout starts, because of the liquidity, at like 40x, right? Like ridiculous payout ratios. So it's just crazy, like criminal how big those payout ratios start out. And even now, 234x payout if it ends up. So you might be thinking, well, how do you know it's going to end up? And I don't. But what I do have is I have quant, I have stats, I have stuff that I can use that can prove to me whether or not I even need to arbitrage this. For me, this is a statistical arbitrage. It's pointless even placing the other side of the trade because the arbitrage is just so great statistically. That's what it looks like to me. So, by the way, I cannot recommend you go and trade this because you could lose your money. I've not traded this, right? I've not traded this yet. And there are going to be nuances in this somehow that can wreck you, right? But I'm going to talk about the way I would look at this and why I want more products like this in crypto. Even if this one is garbage, it might be garbage, it might be great. I want more products like this in crypto, and I'm going to talk about why if you stick around. So let's go into this here. Actually, I'm going to go to our tool at Crypto Wizards. Let's go to Data Builder. And I'm going to get data from Binance. And let's see here, I want to get on PancakeSwap BNB to USD. So let's just get here, BNB to USD. They don't have USD, so let's get USDT, same thing. And let's just get 1 month worth of 5-minute data. That's a lot of data. That's going to be over 5,000, 8,000 rows, I think the last time I looked at that. So I'm just going to run that data very quickly, and I'm just going to go here, BNB, USDT, and I'm going to go and fetch that data. So we're going to get a month's worth of 5-minute data to analyze to see what kind of statistical edge we can get. Now let me go back here and just look at how this is paying out. So now the payout is at 4.08, by the way, which means if you were to trade down, you risk 100% of your capital to gain 31%. Here you're risking 100% of your capital to gain 327%. And so a lot of folk are going to be like, well, how do you know if it's going to be up or down? Well, and what's that compared to? Well, I believe, and this is what I'm looking at, I believe it's compared to whatever this price ends up at over here. Whatever this price ends up at. And the reason I like this is because it's all done via the blockchain, right? So it's very unlikely, I can't see a way this is people being manipulated here. I think this is probably fair pricing. Let's just go back here, sorry. So I'm going to go to data engineer, and here's my data, right? So just in case you're wondering, I've got 8,768 rows of data. That's 8,768 rows of 5-minute time frame data, right? That's a lot of freaking data. So I'm going to go and download that now and actually just analyze it in Excel. So let me bring that over here and we can take a look. So I'm probably not going to maximize or zoom in too much here, but I'll zoom in enough so you can see what's going on. Right, so here's all the data, right? So it goes all the way from March the 7th, and if I go to the very end of the data set, 8,768 rows of actual data. 69 if I include the column headings. Now, let's put in a simple if condition here. I could have done this on Crypto Wizards, but I'll just do it here, right? So let's say, if the close price in the next 5 minutes is greater than the close price now, put a 1, otherwise put a 0. So let's go and have a look at this. And there you go. So we can see it tells us all of these close prices, 1s or 0s. Now let's actually have a look at something. If I count how many 1s there are, so I'm going to do a count if here, right? And I'm going to say, right, count how many 1s there are. Great, 4,175. Now let's also count how many 0s there are. And let's sum the two, right? So this here represents the total. And you can see 8,768. This is how many times it's 1. This is how many times it's 0. Now let's look at this from a percentage perspective, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this number divided into the total. That's 47%. Yeah, that's 47%. So let's put that into a percentage there. And let's just put that like this, 47.6%. And this one here is going to be, 53 or whatever, 52.4. So statistically speaking, you have pretty much a 50-50 random walk, right? It's pretty much a random walk. You have a 50-50 probability of this being up or down in the next 5 minutes. but what is the payout that you're actually getting? So I'm going to go back here and look at this. Like, I'm not even joking. What is this? 53.54 payout. Now, there's not much liquidity. So one could argue, okay, that's not on very much. But still, like, what? 134.32 payout. There's going to be a hole in this, okay? There's going to be a problem somewhere. Somehow, somewhere, it's just too good to be true. But what you'll find is with things like this type of trading, it's very addictive, right? Oh, I can double my money, right? It's got a very gambling type addictive nature to it. And I'm going to talk about why I actually think this is a better form of trading in a moment. But this has a very a type of addictive behavior. So traders will go, oh, no way, man. Like, you know, BNB is going to be up. I looked at moving average crossovers and MACDs and all sorts of nonsense. And I know it's going to be up. So, you know, it's going to be up. And they're not really looking at this. They're saying, you know, here you're getting 2% gain for what? For risking 100% capital. Why on earth would you take that trade? Like, just don't take that trade. So that is really, really interesting to folk like me, because I know I don't even have to arbitrage this. I can just arbitrage it against statistics. If this payout is over 2, it's worth taking. I think go for the higher one. Because if you do that over the law of large numbers, you should make money over time. And I need to look further into this actual mechanism here with Binance. But let me show you the actual smart contract, right? So here's the contract. Basically, if you go here to the information and you go to V2 smart contract, here we go. Oh, I just clicked on some annoying ad that somehow now they paid for because I clicked on it. But there we go. So here we have, you know, all of these trades that are going through. And if I actually go and look at the contract and I read the contract, you can see here, lock it, you know, Genesis lock it. So there's a locking mechanism on this. Get user rounds, get the size. Now, where is it now? Current epoch. So what ID is this? Is, you know, was this the one before? Is it the current one? That kind of thing. So you can even look at the smart contract and you can even write a program to trade this for you. Like, this is phenomenal to me. And the reason I'm excited to see stuff like this is because this actually presents what I would think is a much more fair way to trade. And obviously, the more knowledgeable people that come into something like this, the more the prices balance out. But I really want to see vehicles like this for everything. Let me go to FTX. FTX, if you're watching this, please build this, because if you don't, I'm going to. Like, this is what the market really, really needs. So if I go over here to, I don't know, spot, or let's go to prediction, where are we? Stocks, for example. Like here on FTX, you can trade stocks. Why do I want to trade in such a way that I only make money if it goes up or down, and I make it incrementally as much as it goes up or down? I would much rather risk 2% of my capital on every trade, or 1% of my capital on every trade, and get 100% payout or lose everything. Because I know how to find high win rate probabilities. Like, this is what we built Crypto Wizards for, is really ultimately finding an edge, right? Finding high win rate opportunities. That's what we built it for. That's what we built it for, really. It's finding an edge. You know, you can take that data with machine learning and do whatever. So this is why I want those vehicles. I want, you know, this Tesla one to have it in the stock market and here in crypto, but no one's going to do it in the stock market. There's so much regulation and red tape. Why can't we build more stuff like this for crypto, where traders set the price for a binary outcome, and therefore a free market gets it to balance out? This is very similar to what I was talking about with the Solana video recently. Right, so you can see where I wanted funding from Solana because I want to build this. I want it because I want to trade it. There are no vehicles out there. You know, this is something that I find frustrating. I don't mind being very open about it. But if I go over here to, where are they? Like, I think it's volatility, right? Options. Let's look at options for Bitcoin. Look at the liquidity here. The last trade, 13th of March, We're on the 6th of April. Like, there's no liquidity, there's no trading in options. Why not? Because people are being educated on what? Buying the next NFT? No, come on. This is where the good stuff is. Options are like the best vehicle. I love options, right? And what's better than options? These binary options, but where the payout is fair. And I call that fair binary options. And the first time I've ever seen a product that even comes close to delivering on that, whether or not this works or not, I still need to trade it. So again, be careful here. You can lose all your money. But this is the closest trading vehicle I've ever seen to what is actually a fair trading system. And my channel is not big enough for other people to see this, for it to actually make a dent. But at least for us here at Crypto Wizards, right, where we're a small community, if you can see what it is I'm saying, and you have influence with exchanges like FTX, etc., which I know some of you guys following this do have influence with big exchanges. Like, this is what we need in crypto, a fair for all market, decentralized on the blockchain. Please build it so I don't have to. Please, like, we need this. Like, this is great, right? Let the traders set what the fair pricing is. Right now, all I can see here is arbitrage potential. And actually, I know Bitcoin Trading Challenge, I know he did a video on this as well at some point. But I think he was talking about arbitraging it. Here, I'm talking about you don't need to. I'm saying if these payouts are legit, and it's legitimately based on what I'm actually suggesting it's based on here, right? If your payout is bigger than the probability, i.e. you're gonna get 115% back for every 100% you risk, it's worth it. Like, for me, I think, I can't give you advice, but for me, I think it's a no-brainer. Let me know what you think. I was really excited to see this, and I hope that you got something out of it. Talk soon.